Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2. My name is Oscar Ramos, and I'm here with my buddy Richie.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
So, I just want to do a little intro. So, my name is Oscar Ramos. I been in the fitness industry about 10, 11 years. Been in real estate since 2001, and kind of ventured off and I've done a few different things. So, I think one of the funnest ones is I've done a restaurant, actually got nominated for a Michelin bib, hopefully get my partner Ross out here, have a little convo and tell you a little bit about himself, but that would be cool. Own a couple CrossFit gyms. We manage and own almost 600 apartment units. And then I want to say about 40,000 square feet of commercial space, which is kind of cool. Something different. Been in the industry forever. But obviously after 2008, a little meltdown, I got into the fitness industry. So love it now. I mean, it's life-changing, different perspective. But I've been in fitness my whole life, though. So I mean, been in fitness my whole life, meaning as I played sports, I was super athletic, had a couple injuries, but never know I could have been the next Pele or something.
Yeah, it's funny because going back after the first episode, I was like, oh, we forgot to intro ourselves and forgot to give some background about us. And we just kind of jumped into it because we've been really excited to start this. So my name's Richie. I would consider myself a creator, mostly a photographer, though. That's how I started. And then I've been starting to get into videography as well. I've been doing that for the past 2 years. And I have my own photography business, and I do a lot of social media management, and that's obviously what we do. And I guess you could say we're podcasters now.
Yeah, I guess. Well, we do what we can, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But it's, when this episode comes out, it'll be January, but currently it's December 1st. Mm-hmm. Are you excited for the holidays?
You know what, man? It's I always tell a lot of people that the holidays, I think, is the hardest time for most people.
Yeah.
It's it's weird though, because you start every day, you have a set routine, right? So now you have a set routine, you're going to the gym, you're go to work at a certain time, you pick up the kids or go pick up your dog or whatever at a certain time frame. And then now when the holidays comes on, especially Thanksgiving, or you have Halloween actually is really when it starts. You have the Halloween, then you have Thanksgiving, then you have Christmas, and then you have New Year's. And in the fitness industry, it's a massive drop.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Membership wise, I mean, I don't know for you guys that are listening to this and are in the fitness industry, it's crazy, man. I don't know if you guys get the same hit. I mean, every year we've tracked it, and we lose about 15% of our business, off the bat.
Yeah, I think people just try to save money when it comes to buying presents, and they rather just not pay for a membership or kind of just go a different way because they feel like they have to go above and beyond to provide for family, especially when it comes to food, because you have Thanksgiving, and then right after Thanksgiving you have Christmas, and you're just consistently just buying food, buying presents. Yeah. You're kind of going above and beyond, and I don't think fitness is on the
on the level
on the level or the forefront of
exactly
anybody's head.
But it's crazy, man. I don't know about you, dude, but I think there's a lot of times I get super stressed, man, super stressed out, because it's so I have my routine, every day I have A, B, and C that needs to happen, and especially if you're in real estate, or you're if you're a restaurant owner, I mean, I'm talking about the industries that I'm in. You have to be somewhere at a specific time.
Yeah.
The restaurant opens at 5. That's the time it opens. I can't show up I mean, obviously I'm not the one there right now, but I can't have my partner show up at 5:05 or 5:10, or the sous chef or the line cook or the dishwasher. They can't show up late, because it's if they show up late, man, it's it's a shit show.
Yeah.
So, but then when are you going to go buy gifts or your Halloween costume?
I guess that's where Amazon comes in.
Dude,
or online shopping.
I don't know, man. Dude, I went this year. I dressed up as Pablo, and I did a good job because my belly was pushing out into the shirt. Everyone was like, "Hey, man, you stuffed in that shirt." I was like, "No, not really, man. It's just me pushing out my belly." But
yeah,
drank a bunch of milk before, so I get all puffy, and then we're good. But yeah, man, I didn't have time. I went to, I think I went to Party City. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna pick up some stuff, and it literally, I just bought a wig. You know, I bought the Anchorman wig, and then luckily it was nighttime, and I was like, it had the comb over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's good enough. I was like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Halloween just because of the whole dressing up thing.
Yeah.
When I was little, I was into it, but then I think as you get older, you start going to parties and you can dress up there. But for me, I would always just dress up as a baseball player because I played baseball growing up, so I would just use my old uniforms.
Yeah.
But I just hated, trying to, invest all this money into a costume that you're only gonna wear for a couple hours or maybe a couple parties. And I don't know, man. Something about Halloween I'm just not a big fan of. And Thanksgiving too. I mean, Thanksgiving's nice, but God, you just eat so much shit. I mean, you go to one parent's house and then you're eating all that, and then you go to your parent's house and then you're eating more, and you're just like, fuck, dude.
Yeah. It's a catch up. By the way, regarding for Halloween, before I forget, there's actually a place in Glendale. I don't know if you've heard. It's a professional like costume store.
And I haven't heard of that one.
Oh, it's dope. It's like you want to be the Hulk. I mean, like legit Hulk.
Yeah,
that looks like real. Yeah, that's real.
Oh, so it's not like these shitty costumes.
No. It's not. It's
like legit stuff.
No. It's like prop, like actual props.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's this place out in Glendale. You guys got to look it up. I don't know where it's at. I wish I could tell you, but I'm not sure. But man, like I've dressed up as like a freaking Caesar. The Mexican Caesar. Like it's just weird. Like you just dress up as like different people.
Mm-hmm.
It's packed though. Like it's packed, and you rent it per day. They wash it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's not
cool.
like something that you take home. You have to.
Yeah, no, it's a rental.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. So it's like super legit. Like you can dress up as Darth Vader, you know what I mean, or Darth Vader, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you can dress up, but it's cool. Like you can do that instead of going like Party City and spend like $80. Like I think I spent like $30 on a wig. I was like, bro, dang. I could have for like another $60. I could have dressed up as like something legit.
Yeah.
But
what's funny is that as soon as September hits, you're just like, all right, here comes the money spending. Here comes the eating. It's just like summer's over. Everybody's back in school, and you just have to get ready for the holidays. And I mean, it's December 1st. We got technically 24 days till Christmas, and it's just like, it's just nuts, man. I mean, it's just everything goes by so fast.
I think the hardest part, keeps going. I keep going back to that like routine, right? But it's, like it's how to like. I think one of the hardest things for us is like learning how to cope with like add-on like stress, right?
Yeah.
Because like now we have, so it's not just like Christmas, right? It's not, now it's like the Christmas shopping, right? So I passed by the mall. I don't know if you passed by the outlet off the freeway, and it was like,
I've seen the lines,
dude. It was like it was insane.
It's ridiculous, dude.
It was. So one of my buddies went. I don't know why he went. He's like, I just wanted to see the crowd. I was like, no, you didn't, bro. You wanted to go shopping. But he said he spent an hour in line to pay.
Oh God, man.
I would have been over it. I was like, bro, you can go on like.
I just get stressed out the parking.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, if there's no like. In general, when I go to the mall and I can't find parking, I'll probably just leave.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So it's the stress of like, okay, now. So first of all, it's like, what are you gonna buy, right? So like, I have 2 daughters, and I'm like, I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and right now I'm just like, okay, what do I pick them up? What do I get for them? So I gotta ask my wife. My wife's like, don't get them anything expensive, or don't get them anything too crazy, or get them something. And I'm like, what does that mean? I was like, I don't even know what that means, because for me, I'm gonna go buy those like LOL dolls or something.
Yeah.
So I go do that. So I'm like trying to figure out what I'm gonna buy them. I go to the mall. I don't find what I need. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, shit, man. I just wasted all this time. Well, let me go pick up some other gifts. So you're picking up gifts. So then you got that. Like for guys, I think that's like step 1.
Yeah.
Right. And then we're like, shit, who's gonna wrap all this stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now I'm thinking, all right, when am I gonna find time to wrap all this stuff? And I can't hide shit in my house, man. My wife finds like everything, like everything. If I want to hide something, she finds it. She's like a fucking magnet and just finds everything, So so I can't hide shit. So from there, it's like, now I got to figure out how to wrap it, like try to get everything wrapped so it looks nice, But then even before that, it's like, now we have the Christmas parties that we got to go to. So, but I still got to go to work. Like I still got to go to the Christmas party. Like our Christmas party for our real estate business is at 12 noon on like a Friday. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I still got to go to my other job at 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just, it's like compounding. And I know it's weird because I was, when I meet people in the fitness industry or in the real estate industry, and they tell me like their family members are sick, or they're like super slammed, or like their husband is like out of the country working or whatever. I think it's crazy, man, because it's just that added on additional work that you have to do, and that's what causes a lot of that stress.
Yeah, and I think when you're stressed because you're just running around, you're not really focusing on eating. You're not focusing on, is this healthy? Is this not? You're probably going through a drive-through. You're probably picking up something at a restaurant or at the food court. You're just grabbing and going.
Yeah.
And I think when you eat for me, when I don't consume, healthy foods or especially vegetables, I notice when I don't consume vegetables for a while, it affects my mood.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. And then it adds more stress because I'm gaining weight. I'm not eating healthy at all. And it's kind of annoying because you work so hard over the years. Yeah. And then in 2 months, it just, with the stress, it just goes away.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you have to really find, in your inner self to keep going to the gym, to keep eating healthy. And I think if you make it a routine for yourself, it's not really going to cause you stress because you're like, all right, I went to McDonald's, but hey, I went to the gym this morning. I'm going to tomorrow. Like, it's okay. Yeah. But, when it comes to stress during the holidays, man, it's just.
But you know what, though? It's crazy because I'm learning, and again, I'm like 11 years in now in the industry. And, I have a really hard time, like trying to make sure I make time to like eat and work out and do that. But I think this year for myself, and again, I'm like 11 years in, right? This year I realized, I'm like, wait a second. Like, I said I was going to go to this party at 6:00. So I made an appointment, right? To get to this party at 6:00. I don't know why I don't just make an appointment with myself at 4:00 and say, all right, at 4:00, I'm going to do a 30-minute workout. I'm just going to go to the gym, go to my gym, jump on the bike, do some stuff, get it done, and then I'm good. You know what I mean? But I don't do that. Like I don't do that. And it's like, I know it's like one of those things you should practice what you preach, but dude, it's crazy, man. Like
I think it's with the holidays too, everybody kind of takes it back.
Yeah.
Because when you think about what you're eating during the holidays too, I mean, everybody's eating, for us, it's tamales, it's pozole, it's turkey, But
there's nothing wrong with that. It's the moderation, right? It's like, I went to my mother-in-law's house and we're hanging out, and she's like, "You look so stressed." I was like, I'm not really stressed. I'm like more tired than stressed. And she's like, "You need food in your life." And I was like, I always need food in my life. That's for sure. But then she's like, she brought me a plate of tamales, and dude, it's like, I'm a sucker for like piña tamales, dude. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy because like she brings those, right? And I'm like, oh man, dude. So she brought me 2 of piña, 2 of like rajas or whatever, and then like 1 of like pork. Of course, I should have just ate 2, right? Mm-hmm. But no, I ate all 4. And then she's like, "Do you want more?" I'm like, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say no, right? Like I really do want to eat this right now. And I think that's what we forget because we're so on the go. Like we're literally so on the go that it's like, well, I just didn't have time to eat. Like
I think during the holidays you really have to, as much as you're trying to do a lot for other people and trying to get people gifts, figure it all out. I mean, you also have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You really have to take the time to be like, hey, even though it's the holidays, I'm trying to be there for everybody. Let me take some time for myself. Let me go to the gym. Let me, listen to a podcast. Let me just relax for, an hour. Even it doesn't even have to be an hour, 30 minutes. Just take that time to yourself, because then you're going to overload yourself with all these other things. And for me, when I'm stressed out, I spiral, dude.
Oh yeah.
It starts with one thing and it just goes in a big old loop of, I got this, I got that. Yeah. I still need to get this. I still need to get that. And luckily with online shopping, I got a lot of stuff done like right away because I saw a bunch of stuff.
I don't find joy in that, dude.
No, for me, the joy is when I find something, I'm like, this is cool. Like, it's more of the joy of, I can't wait to see the reaction. Like my brother, I got him this nice. He's a big Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Okay.
So I got him this nice hat,
Okay.
and I got him a nice sweater as well. And when everything came in the mail, I was like, damn, this shit's dope, dude. Like, I kind of want to keep it, even though I hate these teams. Like, I kind of want to keep it. So, and with the stress of not like, and that's where I reduce my stress is I don't have to go to the mall. You know, I don't have to look for parking, wait in lines, deal with other people. Literally just sit at home in my PJs and just order.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I do find joy in like I'm more of like, I guess, the interaction of just going out. Like, I feel like for me it's like a hunt, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, all right, let's see what I can find. And maybe I'm just adding more work to myself, which I probably am. But I think for me it's just the hunt, man. Like the hunt of like going out, and it's like, what can I find? What can I see? Like, you know, I didn't think about getting this for my wife or my kids or my mom. Like, I didn't think about getting any of that stuff. So it's like I'm there. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna get this instead. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that hunt is like my favorite. And then I think the other thing too, I don't like buying online, is because I don't want to buy something online and they don't like it or they don't want it. You know what I mean? And I'm cool with someone telling me like, hey man, I don't want this. Yeah. And I get it, right? But I don't want to have to deal with the return. Like, I don't want to deal with any of that. Yeah. Like, I'm like, hey man, like, you go to Nordstrom's and return it yourself, and then we're good. You know, I don't want to deal with that. You know, so I just think it's just different, man. But I think overall, man, I would say there's some major components that during the holidays to kind of focus on. Like, I think number one is like, make sure like your wake up routine is the same. Like, I think that's like key, right? Because I've always seen it this way. You know, the most successful people in the world, you know, they're not successful. You know, they're not just successful because of what they know. They're successful because they take advantage of a 24-hour day, right? Like you and I, we both have 24 hours. And you know, myself, Elon Musk, and everyone else, we have 24 hours. It's what we do in those 24 hours that makes it valuable, right? So I think like during the holidays, like just thinking like, all right, or during, you know, a time of need, like your family's sick or you need to, it's like, I think waking up at a specific time is, I mean, I think it's just like one of the most important things to do.
Oh yeah. And I think a lot of successful people that I've seen, you know, it doesn't really matter what time you get up. I think it's as soon as you get up, you're following a routine. Mm-hmm. You know, if you get up at 8 a.m, like that's fine. If you get up at 4 a.m, that's fine. But as long as you're waking up and following a routine, that's what's gonna reduce the stress. Yeah, that's what's gonna cause you to get a lot more done. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've noticed that when I get up at 6 a.m, I'm more. I get my coffee. I brush my teeth. You know, I have a little routine where I get myself ready. I get all my photo stuff ready, all my equipment stuff ready. And then I hit the road and I attack what I have to do in the day. And I go and I pretty much stop around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. because like after that, you know, when you're creating, there's not really much you can take photos of. Or, I mean, at night, I guess. But, you know, I kind of end my day around 7 to 8 just to wind down because I like to get, I mean, at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And that's another component is, you know, getting sleep. Yeah. You know, if you're not getting enough sleep, you're doing more harm to yourself than you are. And it's not about like grinding, like, oh, I gotta grind. It's like, no, take care of yourself. Make sure you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah. I think it's not only getting the amount of hours, it's the quality of hours too that you're sleeping. Yeah. So like, for example, and this is one of those things, like I just bought a new bed. So I had this, you know, in my old house, I had this like one mattress. I paid like $5,000 for it. And I was talking to one of my buddies last night about it. So he bought I'm not going to say the brand, but he bought a specific brand. He said he spent $6,000 on a mattress.
Damn, dude, I had some Mexican guy drop off a mattress for me for like probably like $120.
Dude, so this dude tells me, he's like, yeah, I dropped like $6,000 on this mattress. I'm like, what the? He's like, I've had it for like 6 years. And I probably had like a $5,000 mattress, and I thought that was good. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was a good mattress. It's crazy, man, because I think paying that price, I still would not get quality sleep. I had to put the pillow in between my legs because I'm a side sleeper. And I think, you know, especially during this time frame, it's again like, yeah, I get most of us can't really sleep the 7-8 hours. I understand that, but sleeping a good 5 hours, like non-interrupted sleep, 5 hours. Like last night, like right now, I feel like shit because my alarm went off at my house at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And as soon as that thing goes off, like the alarm doesn't give a shit about that. I got to wake up at 7 today, you know, and I have to go to work at, you know, I have to be at work at 8. Then I got do something else at 9, and then we're knocking this out. I got an event today at 5. Like it doesn't care, right?
Yeah.
So that quality of sleep was just like shot, right?
Yeah. I mean, and you're also healing your body too when you're getting sleep as well. I mean, Joe Rogan had a sleep doctor come on his podcast.
Yeah.
And after listening to that, I didn't realize how important sleep was, because I was always that person of, oh, I can go out to like 3 a.m, get up at 6, and you know, I'm solid for the day, but I'm really hurting my body than I am helping.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like after listening to that podcast, I was like, oh, I should probably take sleep more serious.
Yeah.
You know, because if you don't get enough sleep, you're gonna get more stressed. You're tired. You're low on energy, and especially during the holidays, you're gonna need as much energy as you can just to get through the day.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has all these plans. Everybody has all these things they have to do.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are getting enough sleep, drinking enough water. Everybody's stressed. And I think the whole point of today's podcast is, you know, how can we tackle the holidays and be healthy at the same time?
Exactly. It's kind of weird, like, you know, so you and like obviously I'm in the fitness industry and you're in the design industry essentially, right? But you know, I hope like this podcast also attracts like, you know, some of the business guys, right? Like the accountants and stuff. Like their hard cutoff for taxes was October 15th.
Yeah.
These guys, dude, like I know guys, I know attorneys, I know financial advisors, like a lot of these guys and women working like graveyard, like start at 8 a.m, work until 4 a.m, go to sleep, and then come back at 9 a.m. just to finish. It's crazy. Like how much it throws them off to do what they need to do. And that's where you start wondering, like, you know, the lack of rest, the lack of nutrition. So it's said there's research available that will state that during the holidays, people gain about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm a strong believer that those 20 pounds have nothing to I'm not going to say they have nothing to do with food. I think they have a lot to do with lack of rest.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's the problem. Like, right. So like, let's just say today is again, December 1st, and we go out, like, you know, we're doing our day, whatever. And then they say, hey, today there's a holiday party. It's not like you're not going to go, right? You're just gonna like, all right, let's go to the holiday party.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think it's finding that balance too of like, I gotta stay healthy, but then at the same time, you also have to enjoy yourself too. Yeah. Especially if you're going to these holiday parties, there's alcohol, there's amazing food there, so of course you're gonna enjoy yourselves too. But I think for me, when it comes to all this, is, you know, stress eating is a big thing for me, and probably like a little bit of late night eating. And what I do that helps me out is anytime I can take advantage of trying to eat healthy or trying to stay hydrated with water. You know, I take advantage of that. But sometimes when it's out of my control, I mean, I'm not killing myself over it. I'm not stressing over it. I'm just like, it's okay. Like, I have to eat right now. This is what's quick. It's funny
right
here.
What you're saying right now is what I see at the gym a lot, right?
Yeah.
So like, people will start a diet routine today, and I'm like, hey man, like I get it, but I think you're gonna do more harm than good, right? Like you've gone 11 months eating like shit or like mediocre eating, right? And then December you're gonna try to go on a diet, or you know, like, oh, I want to fit in that holiday dress, or I want to look good for the New Year's party or whatever, right? So and I understand, man. Like you're trying to do something, and you're still going in a positive note. But what people I think fail, right? It's the stress of eating, right? Because you got a food prep. You gotta, if you're counting macros, which we'll do an episode on counting macros and stuff like that. But dude, like it's crazy, man. Like a lot of these times, like you're doing all this stuff and it's not even making sense, right? And you're just like, oh shit, I'm supposed to eat 6 meals today and I had 2. You know what I mean? Like that's like stuff that people don't ever like realize. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So as a as someone that runs a lot of businesses, has a family, um, is very, very sociable. You have a lot of friends. From knowing you these past couple of months, you seem like someone that just has a lot on their mind, and just has to be in multiple places at once. What are your 5 things that you do to calm yourself down or to just relax and not be stressed?
So it's funny you say that. There's actually a few things. Like, I think the waking up at a consistent time is important. So Monday through Friday, I'm up roughly around 4:45 in the morning, give or take. Depends if I have to be at a certain location. But if I'm gonna go to a certain location and I have to be there at 5 and I gotta leave at 4:15 in the morning, so that means that I should at least try to be in bed by like 10. That's number one. So that's huge. Like, just waking up at a consistent time, so I know what to expect and I know how my body's gonna feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's number one. I think number two is, I think a lot of hydration. Like, I drink a ton of water, and a lot. Like, a few years back, like, someone told me, they're like, "Hey man, like, you can go, a week without food, but you can't go 3 days without water."
Yeah.
And it's like, you'll notice it, man. Like, your lips are getting chapped. Like, it freaking, your stomach hurts, your back hurts, your kidneys are hurting. And I mean, you'll start noticing things like that. So I think a lot of hydration, that's like a big one. So that would be like number two. Number three, I think, to cool down on stress is like, man, just trying to get off social media.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, like that's like,
That's a big stressor in itself.
It's crazy. Like, so for all you guys that are like own gyms or manage gyms or used to be part of a gym, like, I mean, realistically, what like fucks you up, like, when you bend over backwards for an athlete, a member, a friend at the gym, and you're just like, hey man, like, I'm gonna bend over backwards to like help you qualify for something or go somewhere or lose weight or this and that, and they're like, oh, thanks, man, and then they just like go somewhere else.
Yeah.
That shit, dude. Like, they'll go, like, one of the businesses I bought, like one of the gyms, like, it's like still on my mind, right? Like I bought the facility, they were getting ready to shut down, and I bought the facility, and I had like 10 people thank me, like, hey, thanks for saving us. Like, I was like, fuck, man, I feel like the Messiah right now, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Thanks for saving us. Like, you kept the doors open. I appreciate that. Like, this and that. Literally, man, 3 weeks later, they're like, oh, we're gonna, like, the vibe here is not the same. And I'm like, dude, I've been here 3 fucking weeks, man. Like,
Yeah, like, give it a chance.
yeah, give like, I was like, the boat was sinking already, man. Like, just give me a chance, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen. They just ended up going to another gym, and you're just like, come on, man. Like, really? Like, but I think, and I saw that off social media, and I think that, like, that fucks me up,
Yeah.
like, mentally. Or the worst thing is, like, what are the local gyms doing, right? Or what are the local restaurants doing? Why is this restaurant offering a sale? Or, like, why are these apartments going on sale? Like, what's going on in the area? You know what I mean? So you think of all that stuff. So I think trying to stay off social media, especially like 2 hours before, like, that's huge, man. Like, I started doing podcasts. Like, I don't really read that much. My wife likes to read at night, but I started listening to podcasts, which hence convinced me to do this, and hopefully it helps people as well. But yeah, doing that, like, it was extremely helpful.
So you got sleep. You get enough sleep on time. Then you have staying hydrated, staying off social media. What are the 2 things?
I would say in the morning, just doing a quick, simple workout. I do this. I've been kind of off and on, but again, like, when I'm on it, it's every morning. It's like clockwork. 200 jumping jacks, 50 air squats, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups. Go take a shower.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that simple, and it's funny because I can feel instantly, like, the difference.
Yeah.
Like, just endorphins kicking in. Like you can feel, like I just feel different. You know,
Yeah.
I feel way more awake. It's like
your body's moving. You got your blood flowing.
exactly. It's just like, I mean, dude, like studies show, like in the morning, just doing that and drinking 8 ounces of water in the morning, you increase your metabolism by 10%. 10%. Like doing nothing. You know what I mean? Simple, like super simple. You know what I mean? So I think that's like a big, like it doesn't have to necessarily be a 1 hour workout. If 20 minutes is what you got, knock it out in 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just moved to my new house, so I didn't get a chance to like work out like I wanted to. So I spent like a year of not following some type of routine. But now that I moved, like I have a routine, I'll have time to be on some type of routine. And then I think the last one, like, and this is just for me, I love music, man. Like, love music. And I like enjoy all genres. Like I can listen to Arabic music, I can listen to French, I can listen to French pop, kid bop, heavy metal, whatever, rage, punk, whatever. I don't care. I'll listen to anything. And I think for me, just like the drive home, if my kids are asleep and my kids and my wife are asleep and I'm driving home, I'll just like 30 minutes, 40 minutes of just playing music. I'll start singing along, like just like start dancing in my car, like just, and I think it just kind of zones me out, man. Like it just like, all right, cool. Like
just to distract yourself from everything that's going on. Have you, I'm pretty sure this will come up in a podcast, or maybe we could get someone that is a little bit of an expert on it. But have you ever tried CBD?
I've been doing CBD for about a year.
Oh, okay.
That's
so,
like,
yeah, I know there's a lot of benefits with CBD.
Yeah,
that can reduce stress, help you get some better sleep. I think I've dabbled with CBD for a little bit as well, especially when I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Take a couple drops and just kind of just relax.
So there's a guy, so for sleep, like I know a lot of people that do like sleep aids and stuff like that. And I was introduced to CBD. That's like the hardest thing for me. It's like, it's not so much, it's not so much falling asleep. I could fall asleep in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's staying asleep is my biggest problem. Right. And what I realize that works the best for me, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but I was introduced by one of my old coaches. So Drew introduced me to this product called ZMA. Dude, I mean, talk about like deep sleep. Like I can sleep. Unfortunately, you won't hear anything. It doesn't put you to sleep, but it's a deep sleep. Like you're asleep. You know what I mean? So if someone was gonna beat you up, that's like the perfect time to beat you up at.
Yeah.
But I think the CMA. I'm sorry, not CMA. The ZMA is, there's a couple different components that are in there, but I mean, I recommend it to anyone. I take one from a vitamin shop called True Athlete.
Okay.
That's the one I take. I love it, man. It's a good product. It's like $30, I think, for the product. I mean, it's not expensive at all. And I think it's helpful. You know what I mean? But for CBD, the reason why I take it is, it's a cancer cell reducer.
Yeah.
And that is, I mean, unfortunately, man, I eat on the road a lot. I'm driving. I'm on the freeways a lot. I'm in construction sites that, what do we know has asbestos? What doesn't know has, like we just don't fucking know. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, man, if I could take some CBD, then I'll take some, you know what I mean? So it's funny you see that I actually have some here, let me grab that real quick and I'll show you what I got,
Yeah, go for it. When one of my favorite brands for CBD is it's called Doses, and they have they're a cannabis brand that has different kinds of pens, and they actually just drop some mints. But one of my favorite CBD pens that they have is called Calm, and I use it. My girlfriend uses it, and then I also got her dad using it. And even with him, he's told me like, dude, when I'm golfing, take a couple hits of my pen, and I'm just relaxed. I'm zoned in. I'm not stressed. I'm just kind of playing the game. And I think having a little bit of CBD oil with you in your car, or even if you want to like have a little pen with you, just to calm yourself down, like you said, during the holidays and you're going shopping and you don't want to eat, you don't want to stress yourself out, take a little CBD with you.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people, like it's just it's such a taboo conversation, right? Like it's kind of weird though. Like, so in our state, it's legal now, but it's legal now, but it's weird, man. Like you get people like walking on the street smoking weed, and I'm just there, just like, what are you doing, man? Like, so it's just like, and even my mom, I told her, like, hey mom, like you should take the CBD stuff. It's helpful. It's this, it's that. And she just looks at me like, oh, that's
weed.
That's weed. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? It's like, you're not supposed to take that. You're not supposed to be doing that right now. And I'm like, it's like, hey, anything that can help to reduce stress or whatever, like let's just do it.
Because technically CBD is weed.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's a different component from the plant, but it's not psychoactive, and you get the same benefits.
Yeah.
As marijuana.
Bro, they sell that at CVS.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You can go to CVS now, buy CBD.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can go to CVS, Walgreens now. You can go there, and so randomly, hopefully I can bring the guy in. I invested in a marijuana testing company.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's one of the random things I do, and I invested in a company that what their job to do is to tell you. This is like a lot of stuff that people don't know, right? So marijuana is now it's kind of in the same, it's controlled by the Department of Agriculture. And what they're doing now, it's like, so if you have like an apple, has like the sticker on it, X amount of numbers, like they're tracing it where it's coming from, the farm, location, like it tells you everything on that little sticker. They're doing this essentially the same thing. So the exact same thing for marijuana. So now the machines that we have like can test like CBD levels, they can test THC levels. Those are like primarily the two tests that they do, and I think you can just go online. I believe it's called the bcc.org, Bureau Cannabis Control, I think that's what it's called. Hopefully I can get that guy to come in and talk a little bit about the industry.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good podcast, just to marijuana and fitness.
Yeah,
a lot of people I know, I don't want to get too deep into it, but a lot of people I know smoke and then go work out.
Yeah.
And they feel like they get a better workout in when they do. For me, I don't like doing that, because if I were to do that, I'm just like not working out at all. I'm just zoned out.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be good to have someone come in here and kind of talk about the benefits with fitness as well.
Yeah. There's a guy that I might bring on the show as well. And he trains some professional MMA fighters and stuff like that. And I'm curious to hear his perspective on like, hey man, like, does so and so take CBD? Like what does he do to? I mean, wasn't what's his name? This guy named Diaz? He was like smoking weed on.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah, Nate Diaz was like smoking out on a freaking stage.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty intense.
I mean, I was like, oh man, that's like, no fucks given, dude. It's like, but it is what it is, right? Like I mean, it's just part of the industry. But I think though, guys, like I think for a lot of people that are hopefully listening to this, like this is not just like a holiday, like how to control stress. It's like, there's a lot of things out there that I think consistency breaks the routine of stress, right? Like if you're consistent, I think when you break that mold, and planned inconsistency is key, right? Like if you're planning not to be consistent, like, you know what, man, it's fucking Sunday. I don't give a shit. I'm going to sit down and watch football all day. That's cool. But you planned it.
Yeah.
Like it was planned,
Because even like you said, talking about creating a routine and doing all that stuff, we focused more on the holidays because that's when stress levels, go up more. People have a lot more to do. But I think if you develop a routine, just in your everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when when it comes to the holidays, there's nothing to stress about. You got your routine. You already know what you're gonna do. You're strict with it. I mean, obviously, we're all not gonna be like super strict with it because things happen, life happens.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, as long as you stick to your routine, even in your everyday life, the holidays will be much easier.
Yeah. Well, I think this is also what's something that most people don't realize is that it's also for like life-changing events, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a friend that just had a baby, like a newborn, and she was telling me, and she's like, "Oh man, I'm so tired. I haven't been able to go to the gym. I'm exhausted, and this and that." And I'm like, it just messed up your routine, right? Like that's why you feel like that. Like, the baby's waking up at every 2 hours, or like doesn't want to go to sleep, or it's crying, it's whining. You were supposed to eat at noon, and now you're eating at 3. You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff that most people don't think about, right? Or like I'm getting to the age that a lot of my friends are like their parents are starting to get sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And dude, that additional stress is nuts, man. Like, hey, my grandfather, like I just had a yoga instructor tell me today, like, hey, I'm gonna be gone for the whole month. I'm like, why? What's up? She's like, my mom's really sick. I'm like, oh shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm so stressed and I'm this, and it's like, yeah, I get it. It's your parent. I'm not gonna say that's not, but there's also trying to stick to your normal as best as possible, and then now you might have to remove something to add your parents or the newborn or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think with the stress, we started this podcast, and I was telling Oscar before, I was like, what are we gonna talk about today? He's like, let's talk about the holidays and how to tackle the holidays right by eating and all this other stuff. But it's funny that it just went straight into stress. And stress is a big deal, man. My grandma was recently diagnosed with leukemia, and telling her, you gotta stay positive, you can't stress out. When you're in the hospital, just create a routine.
Yeah.
Because the more it sounds kind of weird, but the more good energy that you put out there and into your head and into your body,
Yeah.
the better outcomes are what's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a believer of what you think is what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Same here.
I'm a strong believer about that, man. If you believe you're gonna fucking die at 50, you're gonna die at 50, dude. You know what I mean? Like that's just, so I mean that, I don't want to get into like a religious thing or anything like that and along those lines, but I think positivity and being around positive people, like I always tell my wife, man, I was like, babe, like if I'm sick, like don't come to the hospital fucking crying. Like, I don't want you crying. Like I live my life. Like, my goal is to be happy, and I want to see my kids making sure that they're happy, and it is what it is, like if life is calling me to leave at that moment of life, like granted you don't want to die or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, you got to stay positive as much as you can, even though it's hard that the end is near, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Is it hard for you to stay positive? To be honest, for me, sometimes it is really hard to stay positive, especially when a lot of negativity is just thrown at you your way, or you're dealing with a lot of negativity, or just, like you said, that stress. It's really hard to stay positive. So, I mean, for you, someone that has probably obviously has a lot more on their plate, obviously you can get, you're being thrown a lot of stuff your way.
Yeah.
How do you stay positive through all that?
So, it's kind of weird. Like probably like the first 2 years that I had the gym, obviously I was like still struggling with real estate, and I was like super stressed because of real estate. And I was telling my best friend, and his name is Caesar. He's a financial advisor. He used to be a financial advisor at Merrill Lynch. Now he's at another company called Snowden in Pasadena. And it's crazy, man, because like he was telling me, he goes, and I told him, I was like, man, I'm so stressed. Like I'm just, it's bad energy at the gym and this and that. And he goes, hey, man, he's like, I'm going to just keep it straight up with you, man. He's like, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. He's like, you better put a smile on your face, dude, and you better enjoy what you do. He's like, because not a lot of people get to do what you do, and you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, you know? And I switched that around, that when I go to the gym, and I had like this last week we closed about 6 million in real estate transactions in like 2 months. And I mean, that's a lot of stress, man. It's a lot of work, a lot of moving parts. Yeah, it's just literally a lot of moving parts to get things done. And
because especially this time of year with like you said, the added stress of the holidays, it's really hard to be positive and to stay positive. Yeah, you're gonna be happy because it's the holidays. We're all here. We're all gonna be together. But sometimes it really is hard to stay positive. And when you're not positive, it's gonna lead to more stress. It's gonna lead to more bad choices.
Think about it this way, right? Like in most 90% of the business world, right? Accountants have to get everything done for the 2019 taxes. They got to get everything done.
Yeah.
So any changes, adjustments, or whatever that they're going to happen, they're happening right now. Businesses in October, they were told, hey, you're making too much profit, or you're not making enough profit. You need to change this. You need to change that. They're doing that. All the health benefits, renewals are happening right now.
Yeah.
Like October, like all those people that work in the medical industry and have to renew policies and do all that stuff, everyone's trying to do that right now, So like the amount of just stuff that's happening, it's crazy, right? Like for most people. And I think that's something that I think most people forget about, that they're like, oh shit, I got all this stuff going on. So, and it's unfortunate because we get home and we take that with us to our like loved ones, our friends, our family. Like there's times that I'm at home and I'm just in a bad fucking mood, dude. And my daughter's like, Daddy, you want to play? And I'm like, no. Like, and then I look back, I'm like, you're a dick.
Yeah.
You're a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I think a lot of times, like, really what the biggest problem is that it's not that important. It just really isn't, right? Like it isn't that important at that moment, I get it. Again, if your loved ones pass away or they're sick or something happens to them, you're like, okay, I'm on it. But dude, like really, when I walk into the gym, man, it's like, there's nothing I can do. Like, whatever I just did, it ends there. And like my new house where I just moved, I have no cell phone service.
Oh, dang.
No.
You have to use the Wi-Fi.
No, but dude, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
There ain't shit I can do, man. You text me, like, if you text me, like, hey, Oscar, I'm running 20 minutes late. There ain't shit I can do.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you told me to get here, let's say at 11:30 a.m. and you're running 20 minutes late, there ain't shit I can do, bro. It's like, I'm there. It's going to get resolved. It is what it is. And that's all I can do. If it's really that important, someone will get a hold of me through social media or any other way possible.
Yeah. So, when this podcast is released, it's going to be 2020. Mm-hmm. So what are your goals for 2020 or technically the new decade? It's 2020. It's pretty exciting. Do you have a lot of goals that you want to hit?
It's kind of weird, man. It's I was thinking about that probably about a month ago. It's like, all right, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish? And I think top of the list, to be really honest, is I need to be a better dad, like legit. I don't think enough guys or females, because there's some females that are like that, they just don't look at themselves. I was always told this, man, like when you got one finger pointing at someone, you got 4 fingers pointing back at you, right? I think we're too busy blaming other people for why someone is not successful or not doing their best. And I think the stress of trying to keep up of what I see on social media, right? Like, yeah, I saw this guy with this like Supreme Louis Vuitton bag that's $8,000. Like, why don't I have that? You know what I mean? Like, It's like, so I think, trying to keep up or stay busy, like stay overly busy. You know what I mean? I think it's time for me. I think it's time to sit back and say, okay, what's important? What's not important? What could be moved around? And then what time is the most valuable to be with my kids. Because I hear a lot of guys, man, they're like, oh man, you work a lot, man. Like you work a lot. You got to spend time with the family. I'm like, bro, I see you spend time with the family, man. You're with your family. You're on your phone. You're making phone calls. You're not even present, dude. Like you're not present. You know, spending time with your family doesn't mean you're on the bed while your wife and kids are like in the living room. That's not spending time with family. You know what I mean? It's being like mentally
it's being engaged.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. So I think that's like something I like book every minute I have like to do shit. So it's like I think it's readjusting that and setting it up in a position that I'm like, okay, like I think that's like number one. I haven't really figured out. Oh, I think I got one. I just got approved by Remax, the real estate company.
Yeah.
So we might set up a franchise. Kind of excited about doing that.
Yeah, because I know we talked about like some of the things you want to do in the next couple of years, and that's kind of why you brought me on board.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, for next year too, I mean, some of my goals are just I just need to stop being lazy and just get after it. You know, I wanted to start my own podcast as well, but we have this one, and so far it's going pretty fun. But I think it's just like you said, going back to what we had in the beginning. I want to create a better routine for myself, a better routine to be more successful. Not only in my personal life, but in my work life.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things too that I lack. And like you said, you know, being present more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have our phones, and sometimes I'm just like, I look at my phone, it's like 1:30. I look at it again, it's 4:00. You know, I consume so much, and I think I consume so much too because I'm trying to be aware of the trends, be aware of what's going on, but then you see all these other people doing all these things, and I have to remind myself like, okay, this is only Instagram, this isn't real. It's most likely fake. But you know, like you said, being more engaged at the house, being more engaged with people, having more conversations like this. I think I had mentioned it to a buddy the other day. I feel like a lot of people aren't having these types of conversations. No one has the time to like sit down and talk.
Dude, it's crazy, man. Like, we're in the society that we watch kids play video games, or we're in the time frame that we watch kids play with we're watching kids play with toys, and it drives me insane, right? Like, and essentially we're doing the same, right? Like, so it's funny because I had a friend yelling at his kid like, fuck, man. He's like, I don't know, this kid's always watching, you know, the little Asian, I think it's what, Ryan's Toys or whatever. He's like, my kid's always watching Ryan's Toys. Like, he should be playing with the toys himself and this and that. I was like, bro, you're watching a Laker game.
You should be playing, you should be suiting up in the Laker uniform, getting out there, you know?
You know what I mean? So I was like, look, man, like, I get it, right? But you got to, so when I said that, like, he's like, well, I'm not a professional basketball player. I was like, I go, that's not the point, man. The point is, like, they took the time to go do that. Like, if you like basketball or sports or whatever, man, like, take 20, 30 minutes to go shoot some hoops. Take your kid to the park, so that if your kid's watching Ryan's Toys playing on a big wheel, fuck, get your kid a damn, you know, big wheel. Take him outside at the same place, and he's gonna be riding a big wheel.
Yeah.
Instead of watching Ryan's Toys play with the big wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's part of the. I don't know, man. That's just me, dude. Like, you know, I didn't want to be a dick and be like, well, you're essentially doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know? And again, it's the, and I remember he goes, oh yeah, well, I'm trying to wind down. He's like, cause I'm a big believer about talking about stress, you know? And he's like, oh, I'm just trying to wind down. I'm trying not to stress myself out. I'm like, yeah, but you're stressed cause your kid's not doing
what you want your kid to be doing.
Exactly. But you're not giving them the opportunity and the direction, you know what I mean? But
yeah. Side note, I mean, even watching sports teams can stress you out, man. Watching the Dodgers stress me out, dude. Sometimes it's not even a stress reliever, dude. Yeah, it's more of a pain in my ass.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing, though, right? Like, you know, so like, for example, you know, I'll ask you this question, kind of put you on the spot. Like, you like baseball?
Yeah.
When's the last time you went to a batting cage?
batting cage actually when I was in Chicago in September.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah. But the only reason why I went, let me tell you why. Because the only reason why was we were in Chicago and we went to a Cubs game.
Okay.
And around Wrigley Field, there's a bunch of bars, and it's just like think of like a downtown Fullerton. You know how there's bars everywhere,
Yeah.
but we're just like a stadium in the middle. So one of the bars was like a 2-story bar, and on the second story was a batting cage and a bunch of arcade games.
Oh.
So what we did was we just got some beers and we went upstairs and I started swinging at the batting cage.
That's
you
dope.
know, but I mean, prior to that, probably a couple of years.
Yeah.
So
you know what I mean? Hence my point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's crazy though. I mean, unless someone points it out, like, you know what I mean? And I think, and man, I'm just as guilty, right? Like I'm not trying to make it sound like anything, but like for all you guys that, you know, yell at your kids for being lazy and this and that, it's like, well, again, look at yourself.
Yeah.
You know, have you created the opportunity for them to, you know, we're going to bring on the show. I have a buddy that's a pediatric doctor.
Okay.
And I just, you know, again, talking about fitness, especially like kids fitness, man, you know, and kids stress, like what they're looking at, you know, because one of the biggest concerns that, again, during the holidays, right? It's during the holidays or life events, right? It's even your kids going, you know, I mean, there's like 15-year-old kids that have 2 iPhones now, man. You know what I mean? And they're on social media and they're watching their friends doing some cool shit. And they're like, well, why can't we do that? It's like, well, maybe financially you can't afford it. Maybe there's some life issues. Like, I don't know, man. It's just different, you know, but
Like I said, I mean, I think if we go back to, like I said in the beginning, creating the routine.
mm-hmm.
And I think once you create a routine and you kind of stick with it, not necessarily like you wake up, go to work, like make time for yourself as well.
Yeah.
Having something that you enjoy throughout your day. I think for me, I love podcasts.
Yeah.
So I try to get in, you know, 1 to 2 podcasts a day if I can, because that's something I like, you know, something I want to take advantage of. You know, my girlfriend's not really a big fan of podcasts, so I kind of set some time aside for myself to just be like, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna go run on the treadmill. I'm gonna put a podcast on, or if I'm not gonna go run on the treadmill, I'll just go in the other room and kind of zone out for a little bit, listen up. But creating that routine, and I think once you establish something so strong for yourself, you're gonna realize, hey, I can implement this for my kids.
Yeah.
You know, with my stepdaughter, we shut off her phone at 9:00.
Okay.
Like that's it. There's no need to be on the phone after 9.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of different for us because a lot of our phone involves work as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, establishing a routine for yourself and seeing the success. You know, I don't know how you feel about it, but I hate like seeing like all these motivational people on Instagram and Facebook, like, you just gotta wake up, you just gotta do it. It's like, well, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
You know, I think it kind of bugs me. It's so funny. You get all those people that are just like,
you know, that's the thing though. But it's crazy though. Like even for those people that, I mean, dude, like before we did this podcast, it's funny, you know, I did pull up some stuff on sleep and stress and stuff like that. But, you know, I go on TED Talks and I do that a lot. Like that's kind of where I go. And it's crazy. Like there's a ton of motivational speakers that have millions of followers. Right?
Yeah.
Millions of followers. And the biggest thing is always go out and get it. Like you got to go out there and get it. And it's like,
and you're like, what the fuck am I going out to get?
Yeah. It's like, and the problem is that most people go out and get something that they don't like.
Yeah.
Right. Like, because like, I'll tell you straight up, man, I do real estate because of money.
Yeah.
No other reason. I don't enjoy it. Like, I do not enjoy it. I enjoy the money part of it. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
If I was able to be a CrossFit coach, full-time coach, and like probably had less employees, still had maybe one location, I would probably just do that.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would do. Financially, though, I've put myself, unfortunately, in a lifestyle that I have to do what I have to do now.
Yeah. You
right?
have to maintain that lifestyle.
I have to maintain that lifestyle. So it's like, I'm not gonna say I'm an eco-friendly person, but I drive a Tesla because I think they're cool, and I believe in Elon Musk. So I drive a Model X, and fucking payment is X amount of dollars. Well, like if I just did CrossFit, I wouldn't be able to afford to just do that, right? Unless I have 20 personal training clients paying $500 to $800 a pop a month doing that. Like it's just a different lifestyle, right? But I mean, yeah, can you do it for lifestyle? Yes, you sure can, dude. Like I don't say you can't, but I think most people get stuck in that, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just, I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker here, but it's a lot of self-reflection. Because for me, when I sit down, I'm like, okay, from 2010 to 2019, how much did I really get done? How far did I come in my career? Did I really do a lot? Could I have done more? I could have done way more.
Yeah,
You know,
we can always do more.
yeah, but I think when it comes to like this next decade, I'm really looking at this next decade as like a whole new start to everything. You know, I'm kind of revamping a lot of things from my photography side and my business. Just being more creative with myself, and I'm trying to create a routine that's gonna be caused by less stress and that's gonna direct me in the way I want to go. Because it's funny they say you set yourself up for a certain lifestyle. I have that taste for that certain lifestyle of, you know, I want the shoes, I want the cars, I want the yacht, the airplane. I want all that. I want to be successful. I want to have one day, I want fuck you money one day. Like that's what I want. But in order to get there, like I have to sacrifice and create a successful routine that's going to help me get to that next point. You know what I mean? And I think for the person that isn't in the position to really go out and make, you know, changes because they have to provide for a family, you can still create a successful routine to make yourself happy on a daily basis, whether it's taking a yoga class, doing CrossFit, you know, doing some meditation. You know, I think it's just creating a successful habit and having a successful routine to just be happy. And I think that's a lot of people would just say, yeah, we all want to be happy. We all want to be happy. But are we really doing that at the end of the day?
Yeah.
You know, and for me, I wasn't, you know, I was really kind of like hiding behind. I was lazy. I was hiding behind a lot of shit. And, you know, at one point I was drinking a good amount and, you know, I was just lost. But now like I see when you kind of dip your toes in the water of being around people that are successful, being around people that have a lot, you want to get there. You want to be a part of that. So, you know, I'm trying to set myself up for success now. And then especially with this new decade, it's like by the time 2029 comes along, like I want to be at the top. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I got to figure that out. But I know if I kind of set myself for success, I'm going to get there.
I think one of the biggest things that I hear this. So when I bought my house and people ask me, hey, did you move in already? I was like, yeah, I moved in. And they're like, that's great. You deserved it. And I was like, deserve what?
Yeah.
They're like, you deserve that house. Fuck, like, what? Like, I'm like, I literally, man, I'm not kidding, man. I was like, I don't understand what you mean. You know, I was like, the freaking, you know, the guy that's helping homeless people deserves it. The guy, you know, the Pope that's trying to change, you know, life or make a difference in someone's life. I think those people deserve it. You know, I think certain doctors, you know, deserve it, right? Missionaries deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it's just different, man. Like you gotta, like, my biggest thing is, especially I think in an aspect of success, most people lose track during this time of year. Because, and I'm guilty. I'm like super guilty of this, man, because I had my eye on the prize. And what did I say? I finished up these transactions, and December I was like, all right, man, I'm going to mellow out this month. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to try to figure out what I'm going to do. Like, I just lost track, right? Like, if you really sit down and look, like, you know, you lost track. You know, so I think that's like one of the biggest things I tell a lot of people. And I think the other thing that you got to kind of keep an eye on, like just on people's comments, I hear this all the time. It's like, oh, it's because they got lucky. man, dude, luck's not made. Luck is created.
Yeah.
Legit is created. You know, like, I mean, like that's just the way that works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, like I hear this shit all the time, man. Like, you know, oh, I hate my job. It sucks. And I'm like, but and I was like, why does it suck? It's all because I need more money. Okay, you need more money. You know, I'm stressed out. Like the holidays are around the corners. I don't have any extra money. It's like, okay, so what so what are you gonna do about it? Well, I'm gonna ask for a raise. Oh, you're gonna ask for a raise? They're like, yeah. And dude, I think that's why I don't have any friends, right? So they'll fucking tell me that. And my first comment is like, let me ask you this, man. Why would I pay you more money to do the exact same job?
Yeah. Because they think it's gonna fix all their problems, and you know, for me, like last year, I was barely making less than $1,000, and I had maxed out credit cards.
Yeah.
And I was barely making my phone bill. I was living at home, and you know, I wasn't living with my girlfriend at the time. And I just remember like thinking like, oh, once I have more money, things are just gonna get better. Like I'll be happier.
Yeah.
I'll have everything I want. You know, coming to the end of 2019, you know, I'm finally making a lot more money than where I was last year. But did my happiness go up?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was still stressed.
Yeah.
I was still trying to figure out, like, I thought once I have money, I just need more money.
Yeah.
And you just need more and more and more and more and more money. And, you know, you hear a lot of celebrities say, like, money is more, like, more money, more problems. And it's true, because the more money I got, the more I kind of spent, you know, living outside of my means, because I was like, oh, I'm just going to get it back. Oh, I'm just going to get it back.
Yeah.
And in reality, it's like you're just causing more stress for yourself.
You know, I'll tell you this. This is what I say this all the time. You know, money doesn't buy you happiness, but money buys you options. That is the difference.
Yeah.
So, for example, like I like sneakers, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm like fairly decent sneakerhead, right? And yeah, I got pair of Red Octobers, and I got all the Nike, you know, Yeezy 2s. Like I got the whole set. But this is the thing though, like I work so I can have options, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the difference. Like, you know, the evaluation of buying something that's like $100 to like $75, like if that's your option, then those are your options. If you make $1,000 a day, now your options are probably, you know, I'm gonna get some, you know, some fresh, I don't know, right? I'm gonna get some Red Octobers, or I'm gonna get the Travis Scotts, right? Like, which ones do I want? Because I have options now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think especially with this time of year and money, you know, you hear a lot of people say, don't go to the extreme when you're like during the holidays with money, because a lot of people get in debt around the holidays, which, like you said, which is what this podcast is about, is mainly about, which is stress. I mean, it's with more money, it's more stress, like we said before, but I mean, we're trying to get rid of the stress here, especially during the holidays. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves. It's, you know, because you have more money, you're going to buy more gifts for people.
Yeah.
Or if not more gifts, more expensive gifts.
So let me drop something on you that most people will never think about. And I see this because I'm in the real estate industry and I own apartments. Your December stress lasts all the way to March.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you shopped in December, and, you know, your kids didn't need a $500 bag, you know, that you bought them, or a $500, you know, freaking Mickey Mouse toy. You bought them a $500 Mickey Mouse toy. You put that on your credit card. That statement comes in January, right? So now you got to figure out in January how you're going to pay that. If you rent or own, okay, that's X amount of dollars that go less to your rent or mortgage. Our highest eviction rate throughout the year is February and March. Because people max out. People prefer to pay their car payment and pay their credit card than pay their rent.
Yeah.
So they maxed everything out. Now they're sending the minimum. So February 1st comes, they don't have money for rent.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're scrounging and asking for money or doing X amount to try to get money in February so they don't get evicted. Unfortunately, most people, I mean, out of all of our units, we'll probably have about 20 people that will go through that, and we'll evict them in you know, like we're in California, so it takes about a couple months to, you know, 2-3 months to get them out. But yeah, it's going to take that time frame to now get them out.
Yeah. Hopefully we can have someone that comes on here that can talk about finances.
Yeah.
Because, you know, fitness, you know, what's really the definition of fitness is, you know, it's not really necessarily lifting weights. It's just
physical and mental.
It's physical and mental.
Yeah.
So I think if we could get someone on here that just talks about like financial fitness,
yeah,
you know, how we can set ourselves up to be more successful, you know. And I think we all know, you know, for people that are listening to this podcast, we all kind of know how we can save a little bit more, you know, sacrifice a lot of things. But I mean, I struggle with that too. Mm-hmm. You know, trying not to live outside my means.
Yeah.
And I think, but one thing that I did get when I did receive a little bit more money by just working was how to manage myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got more money. I'm just going to go spend more. And it's just like, no, I have to step back. I have to relax. You know, I have shit to pay for. I just bought a new Jeep. So that's something that I need to pay because I don't want that shit getting repossessed.
Yeah.
So, but, because, you know, it's just going back to everything, like we said in the beginning, it's just stress relievers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Creating.
We create our own stress though.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
easy.
I think kind of leaving it, you know, we're close to the end to this podcast, but you know, like you got to keep in mind, man, we literally, like, I didn't have to buy a fucking Tesla, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't have to buy a Tesla.
Could buy anything. I
could have bought anything else. But my options were like, well, I'm going to take that as an option to buy a Tesla. I didn't have to buy one. Mm-hmm. I could have purchased, I have a 100D, $140,000 car. I don't really fucking need that, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, you don't really need that.
Yeah.
I like the new Silverados, man. Those things are like 50, I think like 60 grand or something. I could have bought one of those and been just as happy. Saving probably like $700 a month.
I think in reality, we don't really need anything.
Yeah, no.
As long as we have the basics,
yeah,
you know, we're fine.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, because we want all these things, we want to be happy, we want the world. Mm-hmm. You know, it's stressful, man.
Yeah, I think I had a buddy he would always tell me, he's like, more than 3, it's an obsession, and I was like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. So he's like, if you have more than 3 of something, he's like, you're kind of obsessed.
Yeah.
Because I used to have some pretty expensive watches, and I had like 5-6 watches. He's like, you wear all of them at the same time? I was like, no. He's like, bro.
Just walking around with 3 watches.
Yeah. Hey. I mean, I had a presidential Rolex that my wife has now, and you know, I have a couple Breitlings and some Louis V watches and whatever. I mean, do you really need those? Like, yeah. And look at me now, bro. 0 watches.
No watches, yeah.
0 watches on.
Yeah. So I think what we can take away from today is reduce your stress, create healthy routines. You know, that way when it comes to next year's holiday, you know, of December 1st, 2020, you're not stressed. You have a proper routine down. And we can't tell you what your routine should be. We can only just give a little bit of advice on just from our experiences on what we should do, but create a healthy habit, create a healthy routine. Don't be stressed out. I mean, you know, it's true. We only live once. Why do you want to be stressed out for majority of your life?
Yeah, I got to enjoy the moment, man.
You got to enjoy the moment. You got to enjoy the present. I can't even say that, but you know, I think today's podcast was pretty good. I think it was very helpful. This was a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell from just looking at the time, but you know, I think this was good. Did you think it was good?
Yeah, I think it was fun. I hope it helps people. I hope they can. Hope they listen to the whole thing because I think there's some insightful information throughout the whole thing today.
Yeah, if you're at the end of this podcast, leave a comment saying what's up, Oscar.
Yeah.
So
Thanks. Yeah.
but hopefully we'll come back the next episode. We'll hope to, I don't know what should we talk about next episode.
I don't know. Let me see what we think of. I don't know. I can't think of something right now.
Okay.
We'll come up with something.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Make sure to subscribe, download, comment, like, share. And if this podcast, is helping you out, share it with a friend. Maybe you might know someone that's going through a lot, and maybe some of the advice or some of the things we talk about on this podcast can help somebody else. And I think that's what we're all trying to do here while we're here on this earth, is to help each other out. So hope you guys enjoy this, and thank you.
Thank you.